Hey everyone, so I wanted to sit down and finally film this video. I've been asked here and there along the years of how I do my videos, like how do I edit them, how do I put them together, that sort of thing, and which is not at all a sewing video, so it's not going to be my typical video here, but if you're interested, what I do, it all depends on the style of video. So way back when, and I'm whispering because of nap time, and I'm sure you can hear the sound machine in the background, but anywho, this is how this stuff gets done. But so way back when Audrey was first born, and when, I guess from when she was first born up to like 6 months or so, all of those videos for the most part were like a voiceover style. So like I would film while I was making something, get all the little shots, and then I would put them together. Then I would sit there and write up a voiceover, because I found that it was less time, even though it's super time involved with this style of video. It's less time to sit there and type up all of your thoughts, make sure you don't forget to say anything, make sure things come out polished-ish, because I'm, not all that great of a speaker, but there's things where you don't like want to repeat, the certain words, like sew the seam together using a French seam. You could say put the sides together using a French seam. That way you're not repeating seam twice. I don't know, little things like that. You'll find that if you just, at least for me, if I just like talk off the cuff while I'm trying to narrate footage like that, I get into this heap of a mess. So I type everything up, then I read what I type to the voiceover, and during that time frame, I did most of that in the wee hours of the night or when she was napping, because I felt like I needed to have a clean background. So funny now because none of my backgrounds are, for the most part, are clean, but I felt like I needed to have a clean background. So if you listen to those voiceovers, my voice is very like a different tone than like my day-to-day voice, and I used to get so many comments like, your videos are so soothing and your voice is relaxing. It's like, that's because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying not to wake people up. That's why my voice is so like calm or whatever. And I had to, since inviting the kiddos into my voiceovers, I don't get those comments anymore. And that's fine. But so yeah, so I would tape the voiceover, then I would edit the voiceover down, any of my mistakes or the ums, and I would try to clean it up, and then I matched the footage to the voiceover, and I got better at doing this over time. It's like anything else. I watch my earlier videos and I'm like, oh, that was a little bit of a hot mess, and it's like anything else. You do it more and more and you learn more and more and they get better. So that's how I do that style of video. Lately I've been getting away from that style of video because, well, first off, I have a ton of tutorials. There's a lot. Chances are, if you're getting stuck on a pattern, chances are I've either done that exact pattern or I've done something very similar that can help you with your situation. So I've gone away from it because I have a lot on my channel already. Plus, like I said, it's really involved. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work doing YouTube anyways, and that style of video in particular is just a ton of work. This style here, where I'm just talking and then I'll clip in clip in some B-roll. I did 2 back stitches on the kind of ankle part. Okay, well, or whatever is much less work, and I've gotten fairly good at just clipping those sort of styles together. So this sort of thing is more relaxed, and I will just talk to the camera, and sometimes if I'm doing something like big, I'll have some pointers, things that I want to make sure I talk about. You would be amazed with how much, at least I am, which I'll be able to sit down with the camera, and I've gotten comfortable talking to a camera at this point, but I'll just forget to talk about stuff, and then I'll have to refilm. So if I find that I make some notes ahead of time, then just the writing down of what I want to say helps me remember it. And then I'll add whatever B-roll to help make it interesting and drive the points home, make it clarify things, and keep it some flavor of entertaining, help the video move along. As far as equipment, I've used a ton of things. I started out with a little camcorder guide. That was my earlier stuff, and then I've just upgraded here and there along the way. I have, at this point, we've spent a couple pretty pennies in camera equipment. and it's something that's progressed over the years. So it's not like we just, you know, all in one day bought all of this stuff. It's been a slow progression. And then when it comes to editing, I just throw it in my computer. Now I've worn out 2 computers at this point. The computer that I'm currently working on is a beast of a computer, and I am starting to see, it's actually a computer that we put together, and I'm starting to see very small signs that I am maxing that computer out, which is, it's just crazy. Like, it's got 2 hard drives on it. It's got one with a faster speed, and that's the one that I work off of, but it's only like a terabyte, or maybe it's half a terabyte. And then the other one is more for like storing stuff. It's 10 terabytes. I've got all the RAM, all the video card. Actually, I could upgrade, but it was still a $400 video card that I got in there. It's still a really, it's just crazy. The video editing, it goes and goes and goes and goes, and it just, like, it's sort of like, if I were to compare it to Land of Sewing, it's kind of like your fabric stash. If you are not conscious of your fabric stash, before you know it, you're living in fabric, and before you know it, you've outgrown this fancy super duper hotshot computer. It's crazy. I think my next one, I keep inching my way towards a Mac, and I don't know. That might be my next computer, but anywho. So that's how I edit. I hope it's helpful. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. If you want to see some of the videos that I have edited, they're over here. You click on them. And yeah, appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll have to catch you on the next one.